Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Doodle and Chat after show.
All right, Doodle and Chat friends. I think Jed just gave us a name of what we're calling this. Is the after show. This is Doodle and Chat with Friends after show. Thank you, Jed.
You're welcome. It's after show.
Jed, are you ready?
I'm ready.
We have more bowl questions. The bowl has more for us.
I love the bowl. I love the bowl.
We love the bowl too.
Yeah.
And the bowl is freaky. Like,
well, you did all the thinking prior to the show, and then you put everything in the bowl, and then the bowl dictates the show.
It does.
It's fabulous. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Kind of like my wheel.
But yes, it's another happy accident. I think it came up from like the Doodle and Chat when I did with Annabeth, and it just lived on.
I love that.
Ooh, I have a random question for you. What household chore do you really actually enjoy?
Cleaning the bidet. Sorry.
It's funny you said that, because that is one of the drawbacks of a bidet is you have to clean around the little nozzle, and it makes getting the back of the bowl a little difficult. You can't use the brush. The brush won't fit back there. So you have to, I have to put on a little rubber glove and get back there. I mean, you can imagine.
Yes. Sorry.
No, a household chore that I actually love to do. Does organizing a closet count as a household chore?
Sure, you can come over to my house and organize all my closets.
I love to organize my closets. And it makes me mad when they do get out of disarray, but you know, such is life. You get like in my bathroom closet, you know, sometimes I'll be in a hurry when I'm folding the towels, and I don't put them in there just the way they should go, or I buy some extra toilet paper, which I don't need a lot of anymore because of the bidet. But I just throw it in the closet instead of putting it, you know, and I love it when I can just take everything out of the closet and put it back in there the right way. I really, really, and if I showed you this office that I'm in right now, you wouldn't think that I'm very organized, because I feel like I got mess everywhere. Although, I mean, it's organized.
Yeah.
You want to see a shot of the office here?
Sure.
I'm going to pick you up. There's my home office. Yeah.
Oh,
sparkle.
Look at all those.
I love that.
Can you see all those pens I got?
Are all those containers of pens?
Yep, every single one of them.
Oh my gosh.
And the containers, let's see, there's probably about, I don't know, 20, 25, and each one's a different kind of pen. And the containers are just tin cans that are wrapped up in colored tape.
Nice. I have coffee mugs all over my table filled with pens.
When the pandemic first started, I turned into my great grandma and I started saving every can, every butter dish. I was washing out Ziploc baggies. I didn't know if the end of the world was coming, but we was gonna have some Tupperware Ziploc bags in the end time. So we was gonna have at my house. You know, we didn't know. You think back to that.
I know you didn't know.
There's
still some vegetables in my refrigerator that will probably, or in my freezer that will probably never be eaten, because we're like, we're gonna buy those anyway. I'm like, we don't even like those. We're gonna buy them anyway.
I've got more pasta than I know what to do with.
It's on the shelf. You don't know when it'll be gone.
Right.
It wasn't that we were hoarding it, but every time we went, we would buy another box or two. And the reality is we never had eaten the first boxes, you know. It was a scary time, and I'm not shaming anybody for anything. It was a scary time, and never in our lifetime had the whole world shut down at the same time. And especially because of some virus and I've watched too many zombie shows.
Me too.
I knew how bad things could go really quickly, you know. And not only zombie shows, but my go-to genre of books, I love a good dystopian book.
Me too.
Because when the world goes to pot, I want to see how other people survive, so I'll know what to do.
You know it.
I'm not gonna even make it through the first wave, y'all. I'm just telling you. It's hard to call, like when Matt and I talk about the stages of COVID. You know, that first wave was like March to July was the first wave, and then when school started back, that was when the second wave started. Like, what do we do now? You know, now we're like in the 10th wave. I don't even know where we are anymore.
I know.
I'm
with you. I figure I have to learn how to shoot a bow and arrow if I'm going to survive the apocalypse, but that's just not going to happen. And I just want the zombies to move slow. So no World War Z zombies. That's just that's unnecessary. They got to be slow moving little creatures.
That's right. We have said the same thing. We need some Walking Dead zombies, not some World War Z zombies. That's exactly what we said in our house.
If you're Walking Dead zombies, I got a shot.
Yes.
Yep, absolutely.
There's a show on Netflix, and I don't know the name of the show. But Matt and I there's several zombie shows on Netflix, but there's one that's set in Korea, I think it is.
Oh, is that the movie on the train? Or the one in the apartment buildings?
Some of the main characters at a high school.
Oh, I think I turned that one off. I did not like that one very much.
Well, I don't remember. We watch them even if they're horrible.
I usually love them.
We might get a new tip, but in that show, they're fast zombies, and when I just walked in and like Matt had already been watching, I walked up and I was like, "Ooh, these are fast zombies. I don't know about this. I don't like this." The first time I watched World War Z, it freaked me out. I was like,
what was it? 7 seconds?
Yes.
7 seconds. I'm like, heck no. No.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, those are some zombies.
Yeah.
I need the slow movers.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. As long as we can.
I've watched The Walking Dead, even they'll get you.
Did y'all both watch The Walking Dead?
I love it.
Well, you know, it was filmed in Atlanta.
Yes.
Right? I stopped watching it though.
It got bad and then it got better. It did get better.
I stopped watching it when Rick left.
Well, we're trying to get back into the last little bit of it here because we want to see how they wrap it up. We got to see how they wrap it up. But
that's probably what we need to do.
A friend of mine lived in Atlanta the very first year that it came out. And when I watched the first episode, I was literally across the street from the big white building where where Merle got chained to the roof. I was literally watching it on TV and looking out the window at the building where it was
crazy.
Yeah. The next morning I got up and went for a run. And I know this is random, but if in that very first episode, you remember there was a box truck that they had to drive into the city. I ran over the bridge where that box truck runs and saw the train tracks where it was parked. And if you watch the opening, like the theme when it's coming on of the first season, you see the street actually where my friend lives. You see his street in the opening credits. And the next morning after watching that, it was so surreal because like I would pass people walking on the street and I'd be like, have they turned? Have they turned? You know, I was like, it's so got in my head.
That is crazy.
That is crazy.
I love zombies.
All right, what's the bowl guy? Does the bowl guy say anything else?
Let's do one more for the bowl. Let's see what the bowl knows. The bowl gave us that was a great question. Yeah. Zombies and cleaning and closets and everything. Oh my.
I don't know how we went from cleaning my closet to zombies, but
I don't either, but that was fun. Oh, the bowl. Mwah. The best last question.
Okay.
If you were a character from Star Wars, this is a special question just for today. Okay. Which one would you be?
Okay, so I need to confess something.
Yours is a safe space.
I have never seen one Star Wars movie ever.
Okay, now we can't be friends. Goodbye.
Never even one. I tried to watch. I really
watch with you.
Like I really wanted to be a fan, and like I love the fandom of Star Wars. I love it. I love people who enjoy things and like enjoy them a little bit too much. And Star Wars fans, and like I went to the Golden Girls convention. I understand what it is. And so I love fandom. I love it so much. but I never could get into it. It just wasn't my thing. But I have a game that I made up called Pig Porg Person that has to do with a puffer pig from the Star Wars animated series that you can find on YouTube. And then the porg is from one of the Jedi movies. So I do have an affinity for those two characters. But I do remember when I was little, one of the Star Wars characters that I was drawn to was an Ewok. And so I'm going to say that an Ewok is my favorite because don't they live in the trees?
They do.
And they're cute. And I think for the most part, they're good little creatures.
They are.
And I want to be a cute little cuddly creature that lives in the woods. In a tree. I want a tree house that I live in. But I remember them very distinctly and I think I had a coloring book with Ewoks.
Yeah, there were coloring books. I remember those. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm going to say. I would Ewok. I stand. That's my final answer. Ewok is my favorite Star Wars character.
That was a ridiculously fabulous answer for never seeing a movie. Yeah.
I mean, I said on the show that I knew a little bit about pop culture, so I'm aware of some of the characters, like the main characters, Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader, Princess Leia, that kind of thing. Jabba the Hutt isn't he a character?
Mm-hmm.
And you know what's funny? I know a lot of the characters from Star Wars because of the movie Spaceballs.
Oh my gosh, I was just talking to that about my kids. They haven't seen it. I'm like, oh, I need to fix this right away.
I love Spaceballs. So this shows everybody how old I am. I know I look fabulous, but I'm 44, and I grew up in the let's go rent a movie from the VCR store, video store. Era, and Spaceballs was the movie that I always wanted to rent because it was just funny. I love that character that was the dog. I think John Candy played it. I don't even remember his name.
Worf. Was it Worf?
Yes.
Barf.
Barf. You're right. You're exactly right. I thought that was the coolest thing. I loved when they went to that. It was supposed to be like where Yoda, a spoof of Yoda, and ding ding. Ding, 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 ding. I love that. I love that so much. I feel like it takes me to my childhood. But that's how I learned the main characters of Star Wars was really through that show because it's a spoof, right?
Yep. The dark helmet and
Rick Moranis. Look at me. I can't believe Rick Moranis was the
Yep, he was
this Darth Vader guy.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, I know a little bit about Star Wars. I don't even know what the premise of the movie, other than I think it's good versus evil in space.
You got it. Done.
Is that the premise of the whole show?
Yep.
Matt has watched all of them. He watched them two different ways. He watched them in order that they were released, and then he watched them sequentially.
Yep.
Like the story.
Yep.
And he knows a lot about Star Wars, but usually when he is in the living room watching that, I am in the bedroom watching Golden Girls. I need to clarify. Golden Girls are like a blanket for me. It's like a comfy blanket. And when I say I'm in the bedroom watching them, I could be in there organizing the closet. I could be in there reading a book. I could be in there doodling. And they're just on.
Yes.
You know, they're just there. I've watched it so many times I don't need to watch it anymore. I can just turn it on.
Yeah.
Sometimes I turn them on in the morning while I'm getting ready on my phone. You know, I got Hulu on my phone, so I pull them up. And I just listen while I'm getting ready, like people listen to music. I know.
I hear you.
See, I told you, I understand fandom. I get it.
You sure do.
You know, you made a comment during Doodle and Chat tonight about how Golden Girls and actually a lot of shows in that era, like there were actually lessons to be learned.
Mm-hmm.
Like they taught you through those shows, through the situations, through everything. And I remember when I was younger, there was a show called Dear Sydney or something like that. And I'm older than you are, so you probably don't remember it. And I was in elementary school, and the teacher asked some ludicrous question, like talk about some educational show. And of course, kids are saying Sesame Street and whatever, the electric company. And I said, "Dear Sydney," and she's like, "Well, you didn't understand the question." I'm like, "But every time you watch it, like one day the little girl ran away and they got to talk about why you shouldn't do that. And one day she stole something." I said, "It teaches you lessons through the show." And she's like, "Well, you don't understand." I was probably in the 2nd grade, and that stuck with me so much that, like, I understood that a television show was teaching a lesson, and I don't know.
I think you had a deeper understanding than she was able to receive. Like, she wanted something that was about math or science or social study. She was looking for very specific content in a very narrow mind of education. You were being educated, and so it was an educational show. I think, you had a very gifted and talented view of the world.
Or I was just weird. Either way, I mean.
I like weird better anyway. I don't like the term.
Me too.
I'd rather be weird any day.
Yeah,
agreed.
Yeah. So you're right, though. The shows of that, and I don't want to say the shows that today don't do that, because I don't watch them with that lens as much anymore. But I remember very much when I was in that age, how shows taught us, and even into the 90s when like Family Matters came along. Family Matters was a show that taught Family Matters, Fresh Prince. And even into college, Friends was a show. I learned a lot from Friends. I mean, I think shows do teach you a lot about different things wherever you are in life. I used to love The Facts of Life.
Yes.
Show. I love that show. Another show that I used to love, Mr. Belvedere. And Benson. I used to watch that.
Oh, yeah.
Show Webster.
Yep.
Yeah.
I used to love that show too. I wonder if Webster's streaming anywhere. I'm gonna have to look that up. See if I can find it.
Good.
Yeah, it was just good TV.
It was.
And I don't ever want to be one of those older people that said, "Oh man, they just don't make it like that anymore." Because we watch things with different eyes now. It's like when you were a kid, the holidays had this magic. The holidays haven't changed. The magic has changed, So to the little kids now, the shows and the things are still having that same impact. And, I wonder in 20 years from now, what are the shows you think that the kids are going to be like, "Ooh, that show really, that taught me," because shows are different now. You stream, it's different. It is different because of the way we consume it. But I wonder what are the show like.
Well, see, I mean, I even look at, they're older now, but like Gilmore Girls and Dawson Creek.
Yeah.
Like they still had they still had things that you could learn from their experiences. You could see how they interacted with situations.
A show that my niece just mentioned to me that she loves and she's watched several times. She's 15. She'll be 16 in October. The Outer Banks.
Yeah.
Y'all seen that show?
I haven't, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I think that's going to be one of those shows for her that she has just watched over and over and over. And 20 years from now, she's gonna be like, "Oh, I used to love that show." She has a connection to it for some reason. I think it's about teenagers and the beach, and I think some of it was filmed on the beach in South Carolina, so it looks relative to what she knows and connects with. So it'll be interesting to see in 20 years what people say.
It will, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on Doodle and Chat, and for more than that, giving us your time for this fun first edition episode of After Show.
Wait, I'm the first edition of the After Show?
You are the very first edition. You will now forever be the OG when we're 100 episodes deep, dude.
You're gonna have to bring me back for like the flashback episodes, or like the panel, when there's a panel. I'll get to be on one of the chairs now.
We just need to keep having people on because they just keep giving us ideas. Now we've got a panel. Anne was on last week, and we've got when we get to our 100 episode, we're going to do 6 degrees of Doodle and Chat and talk about that. Now we've got a panel. By 100, we'll be able to fly everybody out.
That's right.
Come and be part of it all.
A live Doodle and Chat, like a real live in-person Doodle and Chat.
That'd be fabulous.